good morning. Welcome to the 2019 Weslaco Convocation Red Carpet Preview Show. We are your hosts. I'm Taylor Winkle with Channel 5 News.
And I'm Dan Robledo, a junior at Weslaco High School. Today we're going to have some fun with some prizes to give away and guest speakers. Isn't that right, Taylor?
That is right. And to get things started, we are going to talk to Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Canales. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to you.
Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about this year's theme, WISD, We Read, We Lead.
The theme continues from previous themes. In Weslaco WISD, we know the power of literature, of reading for lifetime success. When children read for 20 minutes a day, they learn approximately 1.8 million words, and they score at the 90th percentile on standardized tests. So reading's important for life, for success, and for leadership.
Okay, and I know that you are an avid reader. Tell us about your favorite books that you read this summer.
I read some work by Maya Angelou. I read All God's Children Need Traveling Shoes, and it was probably one of my favorites. The setting is the 60s. It's her fifth book in her series about her life. And it just grabbed me about the impact that people make for each other when they know, value, and inspire each other to be the absolute best for themselves, for their families, and for the entire community.
All right, thank you, Dr. Canales. We look forward to seeing you inside on stage. Daniel, back over to you.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm here with WHS Principal, Mrs. Yvette Morales. There she is. Ms. Morales, what are you looking forward to most this school year at WHS?
So this year at Weslaco High School, our motto is where focus goes, energy flows, and we're ready to create readers and leaders at Weslaco High School.
That's great. Now, tell us about the latest book you've been reading.
So this summer I've been obviously reading a lot of professional books, but I also like to read some books by Francis Chan. Right now I'm reading Crazy Love.
Crazy Love, I got to get into that one. Never heard of it. How are you going to get your staff excited for the new school year?
We're going to get pumped up, and we're going to get ready to go, and we're going to focus on what really matters and put all our energy there. Let's go, WISD!
Great. See you at school. Back to you, Taylor.
All right, now it's time to go inside and introduce you to our two MCs. They're standing by, so guys, take it away.
Hey, I'm Jordan Cancino, a junior at Weslaco High School.
And I'm Mario Trevino, a senior at Weslaco East High School.
And we're here to remind you that reading 20 minutes a day will expose your brain to 1.8 million words in a year. And students who read in 20 minutes a day will score in the 90th percentile on a standardized test.
And we also want to remind you about leadership, sticking with our theme, WISD, We Read, We Lead. Encouraging student leadership teaches students how to plan events, organize time, improve their public speaking, and most importantly, lead others.
You'll hear more from us later, but right now it's back to Taylor and Daniel.
All right, now we are back with Fine Arts Coordinator, Ron Bissett. So tell us a little bit about the entertainment that we're going to be seeing today.
Oh, I can't give you too many clues as what's coming, but you're going to be really surprised. We have some students that will be performing today as well as some staff members.
Okay, and also the district just was nominated for another NAM Award. We received another NAM Award.
That's correct. This is the second consecutive year that Weslaco ISD has been awarded this designation by NAM, which is the National Association of Music Merchants. It goes to the school districts that have a very high participation rate in music education, and with the support that we get here in Weslaco, I'm very proud that we were able to get this for the second consecutive year.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you inside.
Thank you.
Now, earlier, we had an opportunity to speak with our two Teachers of the Year of WISD. We're here at Weslaco East High School, home of Secondary Teacher of the Year, Homer Colunga. Mr. Colunga, I heard you're a proud graduate of Weslaco East High School. What can you say about that?
Well, definitely. I graduated. I'm part of the second graduating class from here at Weslaco East High School, class of 2005. And it was great to be a student here, and it's even greater to be a teacher here. And it's really an opportunity for me to give back to the community that has given so much to me.
That's great. We actually have your yearbook here. Yes.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen this in a while.
Perhaps try opening your eyes. You kind of look like Forrest Gump a little bit. But seriously, what advice do you have for your fellow colleagues to make the school year interesting for the student?
Well, definitely, I think we need to take a look at what we're doing in the class, recognize that we have learners at different levels and students that just learn differently. We need to provide opportunities for students to have voice and choice in what it is that they're learning and what it is that they're doing in our classrooms.
Are you excited about the new school year?
I'm definitely excited about the new school year. It always brings its different challenges, its different faces, different opportunities, and I'm really looking forward to meeting my students and working with them a lot closer and teaching them math.
Now we're here at Margo Elementary, home of WISD Teacher of the Year, Marisela Galvan. Ms. Galvan, I hear you work with your mom here at school. Tell me what that's like.
Well, I love it. It's working. I get to come to work and work with my best friend, and she gets to work with her favorite child. Fred from Ibarra Elementary. I'm the favorite.
Does she still treat you like a 12-year-old?
Sometimes, especially when I miss lunch because I'm trying to make copies or, we don't have time, so we have to, work around our lunch. And so she reminds me, you have to stop and you have to come and eat. Don't forget breakfast.
But seriously, what advice do you have for your fellow colleagues about making this an interesting year for your students?
Well, every year it's like a new canvas. We get to start fresh. We get a new set of kids. We have challenges, but the good thing is that we have the best job. We get to mold the little minds of our future doctors, our future lawyers, engineers, and so it's a clean slate, so anything is possible.
All right, well, it looks like we are ready to sit back and win some prizes.
And listen to some guest speakers as we kick off the
2019
Convocation.
Convocation.
There's a wind to wash me away, a tide that is taking me under. Swallowing sand, left with nothing to say. My voice drowned out in the thunder. But I won't cry, and I won't start to crumble. Whenever they try to shut me or cut me down, I won't be silent. You can't keep me quiet. Won't tremble when you try it. All I know is I won't go speechless. 'Cause I'll breathe when they try to suffocate me. Don't you underestimate me, 'cause I know that I won't go speechless. Written in stone, every rule, every word, centuries old and unbending. Stay in your place, better seen than not heard. But now that story is ending, 'cause I cannot start to crumble. So come on and try to shut me or cut me down. I won't be silent. You can't keep me quiet. Won't tremble when you try it. All I know is I won't go speechless, speechless. 'Cause I'll breathe
Good morning, everybody. How about a big hand for Victoria Corona, a graduate of KWES High School from 2018. She was All-State for 3 years while here at WISD, and now she is studying music at Texas A&M Kingsville. How about a big hand for her? Welcome, everybody, to the 2019 Convocation, WISD, We Read, We Lead. So, I would like to also thank Daniel Robledo and KRGV's Taylor Winkle for their red carpet preview show. How about a big hand for them? All right, let's turn on the lights. Let's find out who is here today. Make some noise if you're here from Food Services. Where you at, Food Services? Energy Management, make some noise, Energy Management. All right. Maintenance Department. Maintenance, looking sharp with their new shirts, new caps. Special Ed Department, are you here? Special Ed Department. Awesome. Warehouse. Anybody here from Central Office? Central Office, make some noise. Central Office staff. All right, what about our schools? Elf Academy. Gonzales Elementary, Gonzales. Memorial Elementary, Memorial, you here? Oh my goodness. Lots of spirit. Silva Elementary, make some noise, Silva. How about Sam Houston Elementary? Kleckler Hill, show your spirit. Central Middle School. How about B. Garza Middle School, B. Garza. South Palm Gardens. And the Weslaco High School, make some noise, Weslaco High School. Lots of spirit. All right, now that everybody is warmed up and ready to go, let me introduce you to your two MCs. You saw them earlier today. They are Mario Trevino and Jordan Cancino.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, everyone, to the 2019 Convocation. How about a big hand for Art Entertainment to open up the program? It's amazing.
Okay, before we go any further, can everyone please rise for the presentation of the colors by the Weslaco High School JROTC under the direction of Sergeant First Class Mario Gonzalez. The color guard members are Cadet Corporal Tim Lidstrom, Cadet Staff Sergeant Julio Navrete, Cadet Master Sergeant Alyssa Longoria, Cadet First Sergeant Sheila Tovar, Cadet Captain Stacy Trejo. The national anthem will be sung by Sarai Valdez from Gonzales Elementary.
Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad streams
And now for the invocation led by WISD Director of Bilingual ESL Assessment and Accountability, Elias Trevino.
Would you be so kind to bow your heads and let's pray? Father, we thank you, Lord God, for allowing us to be here today. Thank you for your beautiful presence, your spirit in this place, a spirit, Lord God, of camaraderie and friendship and just collaboration. We thank you, Lord, that you've allowed us to be a part of the greatest district, Lord, in this entire world. Lord, why? Because we have the heart for our children. Your word tells us, Lord God, that it is better, how much better it is for us to get wisdom than to get gold, how much better it is to get understanding than to get silver. Lord, we ask you to give us wisdom, give us understanding, give us the heart, give us the care and the concern, Lord, as our students return to our classrooms. May we receive them, Lord God, with open arms. Lord, some will come, Lord, with issues and broken in their hearts, broken in their families, but we ask you, Lord, for us to be a strength of pillar for them, Father God. May we be used to glorify and praise your name in everything that we do. As your word tells us, everything, whether it is in word or action, let it be done unto you. Thank you, Lord, for our superintendent and our board, and Lord, for all our staff. Bless them abundantly this year. We do it all for your honor and for your glory. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for that, Elias. All right, it's now time for the introduction of the schools as we welcome the principals and their Teacher of the Year. Let's hear it for Elf Academy Principal Jennifer Luna, Teacher of the Year, Maria Mata.
Let's make some noise for Gonzalez Elementary. Facilitators, Zulema Garza, and Teacher of the Year, Laura Ortega.
How about Memorial Elementary? Principal Rhonda Selman, Teacher of the Year, Deborah Roberts.
Silva Elementary, Principal Sonia Gonzalez, Teacher of the Year, Jesus Chavez.
Sam Houston Elementary, Principal Selma Gutierrez, and Teacher of the Year, Noemi Salinas. Congratulations.
Kleckler Held Elementary, please make some noise for Principal Monica Vanderveer and Teacher of the Year, Pedro Gonzalez.
Central Middle School, Principal Pat Munoz, and Teacher Margarita Valdez.
Principal Gilbert Rebolloso and Teacher of the Year, Monica Enciso.
Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
South Palm Gardens, Principal Tina Wells, and Teacher of the Year, Victoria Vasquez.
And let's give a big hand to Wesco High School, Principal Yvette Morales, and Teacher of the Year, Claudia Gonzalez.
Make a big noise playing in the street. Gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face.
And please help me welcome our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Priscilla Canales.
Okay, now let's introduce our WISD administration. Today we have members of the Superintendent's Cabinet. Michael De La Rosa, Director of Risk Management and Employee Benefits. Carlos Martinez, Executive Director of Technology. Melva Segura, Director of Human Resources. Oscar Riojas, Athletic Director. Assistant Superintendent of Business and Finance, Andres Sanchez. Assistant Superintendent of Administration and Support Services, Sergio Garcia. Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Education and Leadership, Ego Aguilar. Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education and Leadership, Sue Peterson. Let's give a big hand to everyone.
We would also like to recognize our school board. We have Trustee Patrick Kennedy, Trustee Armando Cuellar, Trustee Dr. Jaime Rodriguez, Trustee Erasmo Lopez, Board Secretary Andrew Gonzalez, Board Vice President Dr. Richard Rivera, and our Board President Isidoro Nieto. Also here in the stands we have Mayor David Suarez.
Also here today, we'd also like to introduce Precinct 1 Commissioner David Fuentes. Back to you, Mario.
At this time, let's have a warm welcome for our Board President, Isidoro Nieto.
Good morning. Of our other fellow trustees couldn't be here today. Of course, they have commitments, but they wish they could have been here, but we do have our Coach Cuellar, of course, Mr. Erasmo Lopez. Good morning, and WISD faculty and staff. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 2019-2020 school year. I pray that each of you had a wonderful, restful, and memorable summer break. For starters, how many of you are brand new to WISD? Please stand. Please stand. Welcome to the best school district in the Valley. Each year we find ourselves here in this very auditorium to kick off this new year. We start here, then off to meet teacher nights, awards assemblies, testing season, graduation ceremonies, then summer break. How quickly it went by, right? And having been an educator myself, I know summer breaks are crucial. For some, a child graduating from high school and off to college. For others, a wedding, either yours, your child's, or a family member. And yet others, the birth of a child or grandchild. These very significant life events are embedded in our hearts and our minds forever. Just as it is the first day of school for our 16,000 plus students, I must say we are truly blessed to live in a community where we invest our future by having the ability to monetarily reward our faculty and staff for their hard work, provide high-end facilities that are fully equipped with resources and materials to meet all student needs, and create positive experiences that encourage students to love learning. In a few days, students return, some for the very first time, like our little Zoe, who starts pre-K this year, and others yet another year like the Justins out there, the Kristens, the Laylas, or the Giannas. Another year of excitement, adventure, exploration, and challenges that only you, as a WISD teachers and staff, can provide them. We, your WISD Board of Trustees, are excited to see what great things will come this year. We trust that under the direction and leadership of Dr. Priscilla Canales, Wesco students will have great opportunities to succeed. For the last 3 years, Dr. Canales has afforded our district great improvement and achievements, and we are grateful to her and all faculty and staff. We trust that each and every one of you will highly motivate your students to be the very best versions of themselves. Be compassionate, be caring, be exciting, be fun. Be the best version of yourself every day. Our students deserve nothing less. Enjoy your kickoff ceremony, and best wishes to all on a fabulous 2019-2020 school year. Make it the best year yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nieto. Our next guest speaker has stressed the importance of literacy, so much so that if you were to ask an elementary student how many minutes they should read a day, they would tell you 20 minutes. And if you ask that student how many words will their brain be exposed to if they do read for 20 minutes a day, they would tell you 1.8 million. First, we were lit for literacy. Then we were Read Dream Achievers. Now we read, we lead. The focus on literacy is one of the reasons why scores across the district have risen every year under her direction. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me give a warm welcome to WISD Superintendent, Dr. Priscilla Canales.
Good morning, Wesco ISD, the place to be. Let's give ourselves a cheer. Wesco ISD is a place to be. So we begin this year, ending a decade and opening a new one. And we do it fully committed to making sure that every single one of our children has a place in school that is a home. In Wesco ISD, we're united in making sure that every child reaches his or her full, unique potential. For us, it's about the complete educational experience. It's about academics. It's about the arts. It's about athletics. It is complete, because it is complete that creates blessings and opportunities in life. So we have our 5 district goals. The very, very first one is student success with a literacy focus. I'm going to talk a little bit more about a literacy focus. It is vital for success now and well into the future. We're about engaging learning environments, about partnerships, about every single one of us growing and becoming better for children. And we're about financial strength, about planning, and making sure that we have for the future. In Weslaco ISD, I'm requesting on behalf of our board and our cabinet and our principals, because these are conversations that we have had, including with our teacher leaders, that we're champions of reading, that we're champions of better purposeful planning for results, and that we're champions of making sure that all our children are known, valued, and inspired, and that we know and value and inspire each other. And to our Board of Trustees, a quick thank you. I've been in education almost 30 years, and I have never, ever worked or seen a Board of Trustees so committed to teamwork across our district for success for all students. Board of Trustees, you believe in us. It's not just your words, it's your actions with every decision you make for children and for staff. Never before in 30 years have I seen the type of raises that these gentlemen have given employees in a district. Let's give them a round of applause for believing in us. So I'm trying to get it, there we go. I'm gonna go way back to the 70s. That's when I was a little girl. That's when I became a teenager at the end of the 70s. How many of you remember this? That's right, children of the 70s. So this summer, I'm visiting my parents. My parents are about an hour and 40 minutes away. So I go to moms and dads, and it's just me. Nobody else is there from the family but Priscilla. It's late. I go to bed. I need to read before I go to bed. My mom, a first grade teacher, a fourth grade teacher, was an avid reader. And our house was like a library. Everywhere you looked, there was a book. I forget my book. I need to read before I go to sleep. So I said, okay, let me look for a book. I start rummaging through books in the bedroom, because everything's a bookshelf in Mom's house, and I can't find one. I go to the restroom, because believe it or not, there's a bookshelf in every restroom in my mom's house. And I find this book, The Secret 3. I get tears in my eyes, because I remember this book. It was my book. The year was 1973. I was ending my kindergarten year. School and teachers already caught me. I love school. 1973, and that's not my writing, that's my mom's writing. Somebody said, Canales, you wrote so well in kindergarten. You knew cursive. It's not my writing, it's my mom's writing. So I picked up this book, and I remembered it, Billy, Mark, and Tom, boys on an island sending messages through a bottle. I remember one of the messages in that bottle was written to where you had to take it to a mirror to be able to read it. So I remember taking this book, and placing that letter in front of a mirror so I could read it. Here it is, so I could read it. So then they developed secret codes. They substituted, I don't know which way I'm supposed to turn this. They developed secret codes. They substituted numbers for letters. There you go. So they were communicating this way. Finally, they go to the other island where the other boy, Tom, is at, and they create, and they become Explorers Club. But before this, they had to study tides, low tides, high tides. They started studying what lived on the island, turtles. Okay, I need help, definitely. Turtles and other life forms that lived in the island. What I didn't realize what I didn't realize though is a game I used to play. I used to play a game and dream of being a CIA. And the game I played, part of it was I said my name backwards. I always said Alex Serp Selanak. I did, all through elementary school. You know where I got that idea? I got the idea from this book. Because in the book, part of their games was to say their names in reverse. So there I was, a little girl growing up in the middle of nowhere with another dream because of a book. I wanted to be a secret agent. I wanted to know things that none of you would know. And like last year I told you, I also wanted to be the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all remember that? That came, yes, Priscilla Canales, Priscilla Landry, I wanted to be. And that came from my time with my father watching football on a Sunday. That was my time with Dad, because Dad worked all the time. It also came from my Huitos stories about playing baseball against Tom Landry. Yes, the baseball team from Benavides would come to Mission in the Valley and play, and he played against Tom Landry, and he would tell me stories about Tom Landry. It also came from newspaper articles I read about coaching and about winning. So I wanted to also be a head coach. My point is, through reading, we learn to spell. Through reading, we learn vocabulary. Through reading, we start dreaming. Through reading, we start leading. So my first big ask is about us reading. Many of you in the audience have shared your stories with us about how reading inspired you to become book owners, to become photographers, to become teachers. Oh, there we go, she's in the house. Business owners. So it is through reading that dreams are created, that opportunities for leadership are created. So the first big ask is for everybody here to please be a champion of reading. It is true that when you read minimally for 20 minutes a day, your brain, this is research-based, sees 1.8 million words, and you score at the 90th percentile of standardized test. Reading's a big secret. It is a big secret. Read and succeed. Read and lead. The next ask, why am I having so much trouble with this? Is to consider this. 2090, children starting kindergarten today, let's just say they're 5. There's articles that when you read them, say that people in the future are likely going to work till they're 75. A lot of people today work till they're 75. So if you take a 5-year-old in kindergarten, 2020, let's keep it simple, they're going to work for 75 years. They're going to work to the year 2090. Imagine that. That's long after many of us are gone. I'll be 123, 124 years old in 2090. I'm gone. But it's the dash between our birth and the end of our lives that is a gift that keeps on giving to humanity. I have the number 40 up there also. What we're reading and what we're hearing is that children will likely have, the children of the adults of the future, 40 jobs in their lifetime. It's amazing. Many of them don't even exist right now. So for us in Weslaco ISD, this is very personal because it's our dash and our life that gives to the future. But it's also our professional responsibility. Preparation, planning is key. Tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. So the second big request is to plan with purpose, plan for powerful performance. No matter what role you play, plan. Whether you're in our maintenance department, whether you work in cafeteria food nutrition services, whether you're a teacher or a principal, cabinet, plan with purpose. Planning leads to results. And talking about results, let's look at where we've been. In 2016, we were at 16 distinctions, 39 in 2017, 51 in 2018. We're +3 to 54 in 2019. I believe, in looking at the data and knowing you all, and the potential that exists in our children, that we can hit 90 easily. When I asked our principals, they said 92. We can do it together if we plan with purpose for results. Our district went from an 86 to an 88. We're a B+. Yeah, that's our hard work. When it came to student achievement, 16 campuses increased. That is all students, all tests. 16 campuses increased, 2 maintained. Look at domain part 2 for Weslaco ISD as a whole. We were at 91%. We were knocking on A's door. We had the A. We needed stronger performance on student growth and closing the gap, domain 3. We had our A. It was right there. Campuses, we had 4 campuses that earned an A. Let's give them a hand. We had Sam Houston, Sam Houston Elementary, Memorial Elementary, South Palm Gardens High School, and I'm missing one, and Kleckler-Held Elementary. We had 4 campuses earn all eligible distinctions. Let's give them a hand. Kleckler-Held, Memorial, Evada, and Northbridge. We celebrate Central Middle School. Last year they were back-to-back, the only back-to-back with 7 of 7 distinctions, earning all distinctions in our district. This year we added Memorial with 6 out of 6, 2 years in a row. And South Palm Gardens, the highest achieving campus in our district, with South Palm Gardens at 96%, an A+. So planning makes a difference. And now I'm going to call some principals up to talk about their secret, their big 3 for success. We have Monica Vanderveer from Kleckler Elementary, Rhonda Selman from Memorial Elementary, and Tina Wells from South Palm Gardens High School. Ladies, please come up here.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today? First and foremost, the reason for our success is sitting right there. Kleckler-Held Elementary, you did it. 6 out of 6 stars and an A. The staff that I am surrounded with has a heart of gold. That is our #1 secret. Our teachers know that our children have to feel that they care for them. Once they know that they care for them and that they love them, the kids are going to do wonders for you. And that is what these people do day in and day out. That's one secret. Second secret is data, 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 and respond immediately. That's one thing that we do constantly. Our teachers will tell you that we provide data for them immediately and respond with intensive instruction. And then the third one, and you've all heard it, and they've given a lot of it to you today, these last couple of days in staff development, is differentiation, differentiation, differentiation. That helped us succeed. That helped us get those 6 stars. Congratulations to all of Weslaco ISD and to our campus. Thank you.
At Memorial, our secret to success, too, is our fabulous staff right there in the middle in those purple shirts. And I agree with what Ms. Vanderveer said with her secrets to success, but I want to add that the teachers believing, the kids knowing that the teachers believe in them gives them that confidence that they can do well, that they can pass those tests, that they are going to be good readers and they are going to be on level and ready for the next grade level that they're going to. And I do want to thank our superintendent, Mr. Aguilar, Mrs. Peterson, for teaching us, and then we tossed it back to our staff. A secret to success is understanding the accountability system. That just scoring at the approaches level isn't going to cut it. We need our boys and girls scoring at the meets and masters level for them to be successful in the future and for us to earn the back-to-back 6 out of 6 distinctions. We couldn't have done it without that. And like Ms. Vanderveer said, I agree, differentiation is a key. We need to continue with our differentiated instruction. to meet the individual needs of our students and their learning styles so that they are successful again this year. And we are looking for a triple crown next year, having 3 out of 3.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, I don't have anything written down, so I'm gonna wing it. But the first thing I want to say is I want my staff to stand up. I want you to stand up because, stand up, come on. They're very little, right? We have a small staff, but they are absolutely amazing. And those people right there are the reason that we are at a 96%, 100%. Our counselor, our social worker, our teachers, every single person on our staff, is just so important. Thank you. You can sit down. But we are an alternative school. And so the 96, that's amazing. I mean, we made it to a slide. Guys. I hope you took pictures, okay? But 96% for an alternative campus is difficult to do. It is. We only have Domain 1, and that is what we focus on. We focus on Domain 1, which are scores. But if we had distinctions, I can assure you we would have every single one of them, okay? Because we work very hard for our kids. We love our kids. We have such a great relationship with our kids, and they have big needs. They are a special group each and every year that we are blessed to have, that walk through our doors, and we plan for them. Every student has an individualized instruction plan, and that's what the teachers do. So it is individualized education, it is planning using the TEACS resource system, using all of our resources, meeting together and bouncing off ideas and making sure that our students pass those 5 EOC STAR tests and get those credits so that we continue to graduate 150 plus students a year with a graduation rate of 98.1% and continue to be an A school next year. And the next year it's going to say 100%. So have a great year and good luck to all of you.
So planning and believing is key. And you heard from 3 principals about their secret 3. We have one more, Sam Houston Elementary. Just kudos to you. Where's Ms. Gutierrez? I know you would probably say the same thing. So thank you. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is relationships. Our board president, Nieto, hit on this. Relationships equal student success. We know that every child deserves a champion. Every single child deserves a champion. Parents send us the best that they have. Relationships equals results. I know a lot of you, when you're studying differentiated instruction, you're talking about the powerful things that make a difference, that high impact. One of them on its own is just relationships. Students will grow more than a year just if they know that you care about them, that your place, that our schools are places where we believe they can succeed. Our Teachers of the Year, when I went to the event last week with them, this was what's in the programs for the Region 1 Teacher of the Year competition. So Ms. Galvan said, be authentic, be true, and above all, teach from the heart. Mr. Colunga said, one hello, one kind word, one compliment on their performance can have the ability to change a student's mindset. A teacher is truly a powerful force in the world. And this is true. So I ask you right now, pick up your cell phones. I want you to find your Zoe, find your Fiona, pick up your cell phones. Look at the picture of the child or the children that are you mostly prize in this world. Go ahead, get your phones out. Get your phones out, everybody. Look for those children. Look at that picture of that cute little boy, that cute little girl. Maybe they're in secondary, maybe they're in college already. And what we request is, be the teacher. for that child. Be the principal for that child. Be the custodian for that child, the cafeteria worker for that child, that counselor for that child, that superintendent for that child. Lead this year with a message about reading to succeed, with a commitment to plan and perform, and with a heart to know, value, and inspire all children. I am so blessed to be your superintendent. I am honored to serve you, love you, and God bless us in 2019, 2020. It's going to be the best year ever for Wesco ISD. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Canales. One of the reasons for this convocation is to kick off the new school year, but we also want to look at some of the best from last year. Here is a look at the 2018-2019 school year.
Got 2018-2019 was a special year where we had students read, dream, and achieve at the highest level. And all of that translated into magical moments with numerous special accomplishments. Wesco High's Parker Galvan went head-on against the world after he qualified for an international conference facing students from all over the globe. His passion in agriculture and burning desire to making a difference paid off after the DECA student qualified as an entrepreneur.
As a freshman, I made it to state for FFA, for a public speaking event. That used to be the biggest accomplishment of my life. Now it's this DECA, making it to international on a business I just started.
Numerous clubs, including Wesco-E's UIL accounting team, has represented Wesco ISD in the biggest stage, developing some outstanding students. The club has received numerous awards over the years and found itself back at the UIL state competition where it earned 3rd place.
It's really worth it because me, for being in accounting for 4 years, I've learned a lot. And while I'm going to go to college majoring in accounting, so I know this is going to really be a good help.
Wesco High's Criminal Justice Club had an outstanding year, bringing home some hardware in various competitions, including in 2 events at the state meet. For the 40-plus years of existence, never before has the Mariachi Pantera qualified for state. But the club of 2019 became part of school history after qualifying for the UIL State Mariachi Festival for the first time ever. One of Wesco High's well-rounded students was recognized as commended distinction from the 2018 National Merit Scholarship Program. Brianna Miranda was one of 34,000 students selected out of millions from across the country to receive this prestigious award.
The person I compete most with is myself. I know when I can do better, so I always want to strive for that. And if I've done my best, then I've done my best.
Brianna was just as active outside the classroom, especially as a member of FCCLA. Her and the rest of FCCLA members were part of Keep Texas Beautiful Government Award. One of the best stories comes from Carolina de Anda, a Wesco High student who overcame personal obstacles growing up from the U.S. to Mexico and back here to finish school and graduate early. She earned an associate's degree and was a first-place winner of the 2019 National Association for Bilingual Education Bilingual Study Essay Contest.
Being bilingual is like having 2 souls.
There's a lot of opportunities here, and I have experience over there. I used to go to school over there, and there's nothing compared to here, and people should really take advantage of everything that they have here.
A special accomplishment for the CTE Welding Department, where 31 students received their AWS certifications with a 100% rating. With the certification, the scholars are now eligible to find a job in the field. Last fall, our school district had the honor of hosting the 76th annual UIL Pigskin Jubilee, where bands from all over the valley came to our community for one of the most anticipated events in the entire school year. One of the reasons our school district is the best is because we think outside the box. At Wesco East, we had a teacher who did away with the traditional classroom setting and elected for sofas, bar tables, and used her interior decorating skills to help create a positive and friendly place to learn. This is called flexible seating.
I started researching in ways that the kids can be more engaged, that they can continuously be changing the way that they're learning and that they're taking information in. And having flexible seating, it's conducive to that.
Yeah, it's dim and it's nice, relaxing, where I can do my work in peace. Something different, more comfortable to be in.
On the other side of campus, a section of the school library became a thing of beauty with the development of a hair and makeup salon for students needing to polish their looks before their time of learning.
It's actually really, really great because I take the bus in the morning, so I don't have time to do my hair. So I kind of feel embarrassed or whatever to come back to school. So now I know I can come immediately here and do it real quick.
All right, 75th District Court is now in session.
Students at Wesco High School got an experience
You may be seated.
only a few can say at their young age. The Sepulveda complex turned into a courtroom where Wesco High alumni and Hidalgo County Judge Marla Cuellar prosecuted 5 cases. And what the scholars saw was real defendants going through real cases, with some even facing jail time, all to teach our students a lesson.
I encourage you guys, don't do drugs. There's a consequence. You get caught, I got caught, you get caught, you will go to jail.
Sometimes students think, oh, it's okay, they're just telling us this, but no, it's serious stuff that happens. And after the inmate, talked to us, everyone kind of felt that. Everyone kind of felt what he said and really took it seriously because the consequences are definitely real.
The Wesco ISD family can not only perform academically, we can also have a little fun. Staff and students at Cuellar Middle School made the choice to take happiness to another level with a Happy Friday dance, which started from something small into a big party at the gym. On social media, the broadcast had over 46,000 hits. At Memorial Elementary, the invention of the Pizza Patrol was a major hit, which rewarded students who had perfect attendance each 6 weeks.
Good afternoon! Pizza Patrol! Memorial Pizza Patrol! Woo!
Mom and I were both working parents. We work endless hours to try to provide for our children the best that we can. And for her to achieve this, to be at school every day, try to be the best that she can be, it's quite a feeling.
Pre-K students at Airport Elementary received a priceless educational experience owning and maintaining a garden. This gave the scholars an opportunity to explore the outdoors in a healthy and fun environment.
We water the plants, we measure the plants, we count the tomatoes and peppers. That one over there, it's a banana pepper, but it's spicy. I haven't tried those before. I want to eat it so I can what it tastes like.
All the way down, nice and slow.
At Gonzales Elementary, nap time was replaced with yoga and Zumba. The school made this change to teach pre-K students about focus and physical activity.
Moving into yoga has helped our children a lot. They've learned their body parts, they've learned how to make sounds, animal sounds. They're also, right now we're working on rockets and they get to pretend to be spaceships. So it's a lot of different types of movement for the students where they're learning a lot of different vocabulary words and they're just loving it.
Some Wesco ISD students lacked internet service at home, which became a conflict for research and homework. A solution was found after Wesco East High School and CTE early college students were approved for a Sprint $1 million grant to provide free Wi-Fi. As a way to enhance physical activity, the district looked into new PE equipment for elementary schools. Wesco ISD felt it was a need and jumped at the opportunity. And in the end, the scholars embraced the gear and PE became a little more entertaining.
Make some noise, pre-K!
For Memorial Elementary, one day out of the school year is strictly dedicated on physical activity and fitness. This grand event is known as the Wellness Walk, which reached a milestone, making the 1 mile trek to Gibson Park for the 25th time. Ibarra Elementary is a Purple Heart school and the campus held a Purple Heart event in honor of those who served in the military and those who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Like, it makes me feel good because, like, we're celebrating these people that, like, risked their lives, and it was for a good purpose. Like, they needed to help this country, and they wanted to help their friends.
The school district and the city of Wesco help each other through intense parking lot projects across WISD, where drop-offs and pickups take place.
This project right here is very important because of the community, because of the parents, because of the drop-off and the parking area, and the traffic and the congestion that develops here.
Wesco ISD also did its part to support some senior graduates with a WISD Golf Scholarship event. The foundation raised $143,000 to help some graduates as they begin college. A long school year comes with trials. Mother Nature tested our community again with heavy rainfall one evening, but this time, Wesco ISD was ready. Prior to the storm, all school buses and fleet vehicles were moved from Transportation Department to higher grounds at nearby schools.
Yes, it did work out for the best, and we're very fortunate because if we would have left the fleet here, we would have been in a similar situation as we were. We'd have lost our fleet again.
Here are some more accolades we like to recognize. And congratulations to our students moving on to college, military, or a career in a technical skill. The class of 2019 earned more than 7,700 college hours while receiving 89 associate's degrees and being awarded more than $3 million in college scholarships. Thank you for making Wesco ISD the right choice.
Up next, we would like to introduce our guest speaker. He has been called Jim Carrey with the PhD. He has been an author, trainer, TV host, comedian, and he has a passion for reading. In fact, when he found out that Theodore Roosevelt read 20,000 books by age 30, he resolved to read 5 to 10 books a day, given many were a few scratch and sniff here and there. But he does read quite a few diverse titles. All kidding aside, first and foremost, he considers himself a teacher. He has taught at California State University since 1996, and his dream is for students to read not because they want to do well in school, but because they want to do well in life. Please help me welcome Danny Brassell.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Awesome. You need to know a couple of things about me. First of all, I am a morning person. I've been up since 4. Second of all, I am naturally hyperactive. When I was a kid, it was called curiosity. Nowadays, it's called attention deficit disorder. Can we give a big hand to Sergio Garcia for putting this whole thing together? It takes a lot of planning. Also, please give a hand to Priscilla and the school board for all their support. Couldn't do it without them at all. Most importantly, and we don't hear this enough, thank you for your service. Give yourselves a big hand as educators. So I always like to get to know everybody in the room. So everybody right now, turn to an attractive person beside you. If you see a person look at you and look away, you ain't looking so hot this morning. Why don't you say hi to a couple of people? Take about 8 seconds to do that. Go. We are going to play a game. This game requires that you get a partner. I will give you 5 seconds to get a partner. Go. And I will give you 4 seconds to determine who is partner A and who is partner B. Go. Partner A, stand up. Partner A, I would like you to look down at partner B. And for the next 20 seconds, please tell partner B what makes you so awesome. Go. Stop. All right, partner B, I need you to look up at partner A and repeat after me. You're amazing. Now repeat after me. I want to be just like you someday. Very good, partner A, you may sit down. Partner B, stand up. Partner B, I would like you to look down at partner A, and for the next 20 seconds, please tell partner A what makes you So awesome. Go. Stop. All right, partner A, I want you to look up at partner B and repeat after me. What a stud! Now repeat after me. I'm not worthy. Very good. Everybody sit down and give yourselves a big hand. Remember, no matter what you do, you are always a teacher and a role model. So now you're wondering, who is this guy? Well, my name is Danny Brissell. My last name is really easy to remember how to spell, folks. It's spelled like bras, sell. No, I never took any grief over that as a child. And I'm on a mission to bring joy back into education. There's my Baptist, amen, all right. I've actually taught all age levels from preschoolers all the way up to rocket scientists. I can make that claim because I used to teach English as a second language to engineering students at the University of Southern California. I became a teacher because of the movie Stand and Deliver. Raise your hand if you ever saw the movie Stand and Deliver. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's the true story of Jaime Escalante going to Garfield High School in East Los Angeles to teach AP Calculus. So I said, I'm going to be Jaime Escalante. So I was originally hired to teach 12th grade social studies in Compton, California. It's a community in South Central Los Angeles. And I went from teaching high school students to middle school students to upper elementary to lower elementary to pretty soon, instead of preparing students for college, I was coming home with snot marks all over my pants every single day. The first thing I learned is what works with a 12th grader does not necessarily work with a kindergartner. But what works with a kindergartner works with all age levels. The second thing I learned was perseverance. Raise your hand if you've ever been in a negative environment, surrounded by negative people telling you what you couldn't do all the time. I mean, one of my old principals, Mrs. Lucifer, she used to fly into my classroom on her broomstick every single day with her permascal and her foreboding clipboard, and she used to write me up for everything she thought that I was doing wrong. She was killing me. But I had a guardian angel. I was blessed. I taught at a school where I was the only man at my school. I was the only white person at my school. I taught with predominantly elderly African-American women from the South who all had been teaching for at least 20 years. Well, my mentor was Mrs. Turner. Mrs. Turner had been teaching for 40 years. Mrs. Turner was from Alabama. She believed in two things, discipline and the Bible. When her little ones got out of line, she started reading aloud Revelations to them. And it was Mrs. Turner, this wonderful woman, that took me under her wing, and she taught me a system on how to bring joy into my classroom for my students every day. And so hopefully, during our limited time together this morning, I'll be able to impart some of her wisdom on all of us. So, today we're going to focus on learning our ABCs. Why ABCs? Because of the psychological rule of 7 plus or minus 2. Harvard did a study. By the way, whenever I cite research, I always say Harvard did the study. It sounds much more legitimate that way. So, Harvard did a study. They found the typical human being can store 7 pieces of information in their short-term memory, plus or minus 2 pieces of information. So we're going to learn the ABCs of reading. First of all, we're going to learn how to give access to all kinds of wonderful materials to get those kids pumped up about reading. Next, we're going to talk about taking care of business in our classrooms every single day. And then finally, we're going to talk about how to create a culture that gets those kids pumped up each and every day. Are you excited for this morning? Get pumped. By the way, if you can do me a favor, take out your cell phones and turn them on. I don't think we're doing a good enough job of integrating technology into our classrooms. And it was actually a 5-year-old who taught me how to use Instagram and Twitter. And when used properly, they're actually excellent teaching tools. This is going to date me. I used to call this thing the number sign. Now it's called a hashtag. My hashtag is Danny Speaks. If there's anything I'm saying today that resonates with you, just send out a tweet or an Instagram using that hashtag, and it's basically creating a page of notes that other people can look on for what were the highlights of the presentation. Also, I'm going to give everybody in the room a complimentary e-copy of my book, Read, Lead, and Succeed, and 2 digital trainings. That's thanks to Sergio Garcia. Everybody give a big hand to Sergio Garcia. If you have your cell phone, if you just point it to this QR code, it'll actually take you right to the website where you can sign up. You're going to get a complimentary copy of my book, Read, Lead, and Succeed. It's a book, I wrote it for a principal who didn't know how to engage his faculty, so I said, okay, I'll write you a book. And so every week I give you a concept, an inspirational quote, an inspirational story, a book recommendation on a book all of you should read, but you're probably too lazy because you're adults. So I also give you a children's picture book that demonstrates the exact same concept you can read in 5 minutes. Folks, we're losing too many great educators. You know, we lose over half of our teachers in America in their first 6 years in the job. We lose over half of our educational administrators in their first 2.5. My job is to keep great educators in their schools. If you're not great, leave. We don't want you. But if you are great, we need you for a long time. So you get a complimentary copy of that book. Plus, you're going to get 2 digital trainings. Really, my passion is I love working with the teachers and the administrators, but my specialty is working with the parents. And so I have a reading program in English and Spanish that trains parents on ideas to get their kids excited about reading. You know, I think schools do a decent job of teaching kids how to read, but what good is it teaching a kid how to read if they never want to read? I teach kids why to read so they'll do it long after they leave my classroom. So again, make sure you go to freereadingtraining.com. If you just point your phone there, you'll be able to get instant access to all of that to help you out. So are you ready? All right, hang on. So we'll start off talking about increasing access to wonderful reading materials in our classrooms. Does your classroom look like this, or does it look like this? I'm seeing too many school classrooms that are starting to resemble penitentiaries. If we want to get those kids excited about reading, we need to create awesome classroom libraries that appeal to all senses. You need to know something about me. I'm a highly competitive person. When I became a teacher, I didn't want to be a good teacher. I wanted the school renamed after me. I wanted my superintendent erecting statues in my honor throughout the district. I wanted every other kid from my school at my classroom windows going, oh, I want to be in there. You got to make your classroom library cooler than Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It has to appeal to the touch. I mean, I started off teaching older ones, but once I started teaching the little ones, I learned it was a good idea for me to walk around the classroom on my knees from time to time to make sure everything was accessible to my little ones. It's got to be visually appealing. I want my classroom library so visually stimulating, my ADHD kids are sitting there all day going, I want to read, library, library. Brew some coffee or spray some Lysol in your classroom so it doesn't smell like vomit and urine in there. Let the kids eat and drink while they read. I like to eat and drink while I read. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to create a sensory experience where kids always associate reading with relaxation. And always let the kids listen to music while they read. And always let the kids pick the music. And I don't care if you're teaching 12th grade, 7th grade, 4th grade, or 1st grade, the first 3 weeks the kids always pick out stuff with lyrics. You know, hip hop, country western, American Idol kind of stuff. After about 3 weeks, they figure out they concentrate better, to instrumental pieces, you know, classical, jazz, blues, nature music, that kind of stuff. Here's a riddle for you. What was your favorite textbook as a child? Thank you for laughing. In some states, they attempt to answer this. Was it grammar or civics? It drives me nuts, the emphasis on textbooks in this country. For the price of a brand new textbook, I could buy 15 scholastic books that would actually get a kid excited about reading. I mean, one of my old principals, yeah, there you go. There's my, it's either a Baptist or a drunk. Yeah! You know, one of my old principals, Dr. Lecter, used to ask if I was using my textbook, and I could honestly say yes, because they make great doorstops. But they're not a good way to get kids excited about reading. I can't tell you how many 7th grade boys I've worked with. There is no way I'm getting this kid to read this textbook. But if I give him a manual on how to fix a Chevy, he'll memorize it from cover to cover because he's interested in it. It's only reading when we choose to do it for ourselves. Happiest day of my life, besides my wedding day, was when I got my PhD. My wife's like, why are you so happy? I'm like, because from now on, I pick the books. Can I give you a teaching tip? The little boy who only reads Captain Underpants is going to be a better reader than the little boy who's not reading anything. Captain Underpants is the gateway drug to Shakespeare. You have to make sure to provide lots of different reading materials in your classroom. So I have lots of books in my classroom. I got big books and little books and pop-up books and scratch and snip books. But guess what? Some kids don't like books. So have lots of magazines in your classroom. Sports Illustrated, National Geographic, highlights. You know, when I was a kid, the only thing I liked to do was eat. You got a kid like that, give them a menu. They'll read that. Newspapers. Before I was a teacher, I was a journalist. I love getting my kids excited about newspapers. Now, I always taught in the hood, in the inner city. Show me a McDonald's that doesn't have at least 5 free newspaper stands out front. I used to teach my kids how to snag those newspapers, and then I actually had a way of influencing the home reading environment as well. Comic books. I'll do corporate trainings, and I always ask executives, what was your favorite book growing up? 70% of the audience. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, comic books count. I mean, trading cards. I can't tell you how many little boys, the way I get them hooked on reading is starting off with Messi's soccer trading card. You know, get those kids trading cards. Leapfrog. Makes me feel like an old guy. I wish the books talked when I was a kid. I think Leapfrog's awesome. Get multilingual books in your classroom. Even if you don't have multilingual students, kids like to hear different languages. I worked at a preschool in downtown Los Angeles for 5 years that served homeless Latino kids. And one day, we got this huge donation of books in Italian. None of us spoke Italian, but I can decode Italian, so every afternoon I used to read to the kids, V-V-D-V-D-V-D. Some of the kids, it was their favorite time of day. Get reference books in your classroom. Every class I've ever taught, I have at least one boy who's an aspiring Cliff Clavin. Likes to give me useless information every day. Mr. Vassell, the capital of Vermont is Montpelier. Great, Rogelio, can you give me some more useless information? Okay. Give that kid an almanac. There's a great episode of Friends where Joey wants to look intelligent, but he can't afford an entire set of encyclopedias, so he just gets the letter V. You know, give the kid an encyclopedia. The first part of Access, though, you gotta give the kids plenty of choices. Now, Carol Ann Tomlinson once said, if a student has a spark, or better still a fire, a curiosity about a topic, learning is more likely for that student. Too many kids look at school like it's prison. What's going on in America, folks? My kindergartners used to go to bed with their backpacks on. My 8th graders were thinking of ways to get sick. What happened in those 8 years to get that kid to hate school so much? I mean, if I'm doing my job, my kids should be banging on my door every morning at 6 in the morning, and they should be in tears when they hear that final bell ring at the end of the day. You know, it was Carl Jung who said, if there's anything we wish to change in the child, we should first examine it and see whether it's not something that can be better changed in ourselves. Our job as teachers is to open up those minds and plant seeds that foster a lifelong love of learning. So Harvard actually did a study on this. An informal survey of elementary age students found they are most interested in, multiple choice. Would you say A, conjugating verbs, B, balancing a complex chemical equation, C, the Pythagorean theorem, or D, dinosaurs and volcanoes? What do you think? Would you like to know my answer? It depends. A good teacher could make any of those lessons interesting. And a bad teacher could make dinosaurs and volcanoes boring. My 9th grade science teacher, Mrs. Newman, she could make dinosaurs and volcanoes boring because the woman never changed the tone of her voice. Hello, class, and welcome to the exciting world of life science. The school is burning down as I speak. I have a large laceration above my left eyebrow. I'm slowly bleeding to death. Your presentation matters. I've seen teachers take a totally cool book, time to read aloud, again. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. That sounds more depressing than a James Taylor song. And I've seen teachers take the telephone book. Domino's Pizza 555-8787. Your enthusiasm is contagious. So, this is gonna date me. When I first started teaching elementary school, the animated version of The Lion King had just come out. And so every single morning, my students and I formed what we called our Circle of Life, and we sang songs every single morning. So people always ask me, Danny, why do you sing so many songs with students? Well, it's a Harvard medical fact. The human brain has the ability to erase information. For example, who was the 18th president of the United States? How many bones are in the human body? How many members of Congress are there? Too many, I will accept that answer. For those of you that need to know, Ulysses S. Grant was the 18th president of the United States. There's 206 bones in the human body. There's 535 voting members of Congress, 435 in the House, 100 in the Senate. Don't worry about that. Let's see if you can complete any of these. In 1492, to all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Da 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 da. 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 Conjunction, junction. Yeah, someday you'll have Alzheimer's disease. You won't remember the names of your own children, but you'll remember jingles you learned when you were 5 years old. I mean, that's all they had to do to teach kids the alphabet. Just put it to the beat of twinkle, twinkle, little star, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Would you like some more? Everybody stand up. We're going to learn the continents right now. Oh, gotta burn 6 calories. Don't worry, if you feel embarrassed, look at the people around you. All right, so everybody repeat after me and do the gestures because the brain loves movement. There are 7. There. Must be middle school teachers. So the way this works is I say it, then you repeat. We'll do it that way. We'll do it echo. We'll start all over. There are 7. There are 7. There are 7 continents. Continents. Europe, Asia, Africa. North and South America. Antarctica. Australia. Now, if you're a first grade teacher, you better set some ground rules, or else you get little boys that decide they're Mighty Morphin Power Rangers going, Europe, Asia, Africa. pointing to where they are on our map of the world. Now this next one got me in trouble because I did it to the beat of a Bible camp song. It was to teach the kids the seasons of the year. I'll model it and then we'll all do it together. So this one goes, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, winter, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, winter, spring, and summer, autumn, and winter are the seasons of the year. We can do it in Spanish too. It goes, primavera, verano, otoño y invierno. Which would you prefer? I want you to consider that the next time you have that English language learner in your classroom. And every now and then, here in Weslaco, you might have a kid that English isn't their first language. That ever happened to any of you? It's not easy thinking in another language all day. You get headaches, you have nightmares. Let's have a little bit of empathy for that little one. By the way, every gesture means something. Spring is a time of growth. Summer is hot. Autumn is also known as fall. And winter is cold. So we'll do it slowly together. 1, 2, ready, go. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter, winter, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, winter, spring, and summer. Autumn and winter are the seasons of the year. One more the kids and I wrote to teach ourselves the parts of a plant. Everybody repeat after me and do the gestures. Flower, leaf, stem. Flower, leaf, stem. Roots, there it is. Very good, everybody give yourselves a hand, you may sit. People often ask me, Danny, did you ever sing with your middle school and high school students? Can I give you a teaching tip? I actually sang more often with my middle schoolers and high schoolers. Why? Because it annoys them. Man, this is stupid, man. I hate this song, man. You wore that jacket yesterday, man. Middle schoolers always get personal. And then the one day we don't sing, they're like, when we singing, man? It's all hormones. So I've always thought that the second part of Access is getting the kids interested in what you're teaching. And then finally, you always have to make sure you're providing kids plenty of opportunities to read. This is my Sally Struthers speech. 10 minutes a day. The time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. You could significantly improve the reading abilities of your students if you gave them time to read in class. Why do I emphasize this? In all my years of teaching, I've learned one thing. No matter what I do, I cannot control my students' home environments. But I can control my classroom environment. There's not a single pre-K through grade 12 teacher in America that can't find 10 minutes a day to make reading a priority. And that's why I'm so excited to be here at a conference where we're celebrating reading. The second thing I always point out, and this is a big thing I work with parents on, is that minutes matter. So Harvard did a study. This was fascinating. They looked at the low kids, the average kids, and the high kids, and they looked for patterns. They found one which astonished them. Number of minutes spent reading outside of school. They found that the kids in the 20th percentile averaged less than a minute a day of reading outside of school. That's not a surprise. That's why they're at the bottom of their class. But then they looked at the 70th percentile. Those kids averaged 9.6 minutes a day. So when I'm doing a parent training, this is when the room gets really quiet and the first hand goes up and a mother's like, wait a sec, you're saying if I can get my kid to read 10 minutes a day, I can take him from an F to a C? That's exactly what the research shows. But this is even more fascinating. The kids at the top of the class, the 90th percentile, do they average 3 hours a day? Everybody say no. Do they average 1 hour a day? Just over 20 minutes a day. This is what I train parents is, can we find those 20 minutes a day at home every single day? There's all kinds of opportunities, folks. I mean, for one, the average American spends 15 minutes a day on the toilet. Make sure you have something to read next to the toilet in your house. I mean, if it takes 10 minutes both ways to drive your kid to school, put on a book on tape. You just cover your 20 minutes that way. There's all kinds of ways, and this is what I do when I'm training the parents, is again, when they go to freereadingtraining.com, you're going to get into the program. It's for the parents to get them excited about getting their kids to read. Now, I've always thought that the most successful educators are reflective educators. So right now, I'm going to give you 23 seconds with the people around you. I want you to figure out which of these 3 ways of fostering access is going to be your priority this school year. Your 23 seconds begins now. So now let's talk about taking care of business in our classrooms. If students don't learn to read by 3rd grade, there's less than a 25% chance of them catching up. I'm a big believer in an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. We don't want those kids to fall behind. We need to help them out right now. So you have to understand, learning to read is like learning to ride a bike. It becomes easier with experience, and we know experience leads to confidence. Well, that sounds simple enough. Remember this. People who say that's easy should be severely beaten. Anything is easy once you know how to do it. It's the getting to know how to do it that's the trick. So people always ask me, Danny, why don't people read? Well, there's 2 reasons. First of all, there's a condition known as illiteracy, which means they can't read. But there's also a condition known as alliteracy, which means they won't read. Both are paralyzing, but I'm going to argue to you this morning, I don't really believe there is such a thing as illiteracy. There's just different degrees of literacy. I mean, yes, there are some illiterate people out there. Most of these people usually wind up getting jobs working for road crews. And you'll find a lot of these road crews working out in front of our public schools. And they make it very difficult for the rest of us to try and figure out the messages that they're trying to communicate to the public. Now, if you can't get a job working for a road crew, you can always get a job working for the federal government, creating a program like this one. Illiterate, just write for free help. I believe this program is administered by FEMA. Most people have varying degrees of literacy. For example, what does this mean? Good. A lot of people in Los Angeles, where I live, fail to recognize that. How about this? It means good parking spot. That's right. My 3 kids, before they could walk or talk, we have over 300 DVDs in my house. My kids knew exactly which one was Finding Nemo. Didn't matter where I put it, they can locate it. Children, from the time they are in the womb, can identify this symbol. Stop the car! Would you like to know the secret to a long life? Turn off the TV news and read a funny children's book tonight. I can already tell you what's on the news tonight. The world is coming to an end, and whoever the president is doing a bad job. It's been the same negative news for the last 100 years. Read a funny children's book. You'll impress your friends. Yeah, I read a book cover to cover last night. Really? What was it about? It was about this little red hen. Reading should always be fun. Let kids read where they want, when they want, with whomever they want. I said that just now. You may quote me. So the first part of taking care of business is you got to make it fun so that the kids are choosing to do it every single day. So you ready to play a game? Okay, we're going to do a word ladder. Some people call these magic spells. You can call them peanut butter and jelly. Don't get caught up in educational jargon. The way a word ladder works is you take a word, and by changing a couple letters at a time, you slowly transform that word into another word that's related to the original word. So what's the opposite of over? Excellent. And so now add 2 letters. What's something you hear after you see lightning? Okay, now drop 3 letters. What's a sound a sack of potatoes makes when it hits the floor? Okay, good. Now change a letter. What's another name for a school bully? Okay, good. Drop a letter. What's something you like to do with a significant other? Thank you for saying hug and not tug. Change a letter. What's something you don't want to find in your motel room? Change a letter. What's something you put groceries in? Okay, change a letter. What's something they've been doing to smokers in public restaurants lately? Okay, add a letter. What's another name for a group of musicians? Change a letter. What's a box they used to let kids play on the playground until they got impetigo? Okay, and add a letter. What's another way to say rise? Good, and it's not really reading unless you understand what you're reading. Oh! Would you like to know the secret to teaching reading? Yes. Comes to us from a professor at Harvard by the name of Howard Gardner. Attractive man. He's available, ladies. Here, he's quite the party guy. Well, back in the mid-1980s, Howie wrote a book where he described 7 multiple intelligences, and about 10 years later, he wrote another book where he described 2 new intelligences, so we could charge another $20 for that book. While Gardner's multiple intelligence theory is important, he actually stole most of his ideas from a more important educational philosopher of the late 1970s by the name of Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman said, teachers, all you got to remember is this: different strokes for different folks. Everybody say that. Every kid is different. This is what makes our job so challenging. This year's batch, totally different than last year's batch. Second period, polar opposite from fifth period. They say anyone can teach. I completely agree. Anyone can teach. It takes a lot of hard work to be a good teacher, though. I hate that saying. The one that really drives me nuts is when they say, oh, if you touch just one child, you have succeeded as a teacher. I used to tell my faculty, if you touch just one kid, please find another job. Let's shoot for the moon and get at least half the kids achieving. It's amazing how low we set expectations for our students. I've learned one size does not fit all. Every class I've ever taught has a Yesenia and a Jose. Let's say you're teaching 3rd grade this year. You are not teaching 3rd grade. You're teaching anywhere from 7th grade to caveman. Every class I've ever taught, Yesenia shows up a half an hour early to class every single morning. Hello, Mr. Vassell. I rearranged the desk and I thought of a way you could integrate social studies with science. And I just did my math homework for the next 5 years. And then there's Jose. Jose shows up 10 minutes late every single day holding his pencil like he just discovered fire. Pencil! Pencil! And in my experience, Yesenia usually gets transferred out of my class within 3 weeks, and Jose never misses a day of school. Which is fine. I became a teacher for Jose, not Yesenia. She's going to do fine with or without me. I can actually have a real impact on Jose. And actually, Yesenia needs me too, just in a very different way. I've always thought one of the silliest things we strive for in American education is equality. Kids don't need to be treated equally. They need to be treated fairly. Some kids don't require much attention. Some kids require a lot of extra attention. We got to give every kid exactly what it is that they need. It's almost as ridiculous as the reading wars. I mean, I've been in higher education now for over 20 years. They're still debating on how do you teach a kid how to read. You got people over here believe the way you teach a kid how to read is alligator, ball, cat. Because that's the way we all speak, right? We got the people over here. What's your name? Meredith? Mary. Mary, I want you to take this book home, Mary. Put it under your pillow. And when you wake up, you'll know how to read, Mary. And I'm being facetious because we know if you want to learn how to read, knowing the sounds of some of the blends can be somewhat helpful, can it not? Certainly can. And having opportunities to read for fun can be somewhat helpful, can it not? Certainly can. But we know we need a balanced approach. But this is what I've learned as a teacher. If I got a kid who loves sitting there doing phonics worksheets, what should I do? Give them phonics worksheets. If I got a kid who loves sitting in the corner reading on her own, what should I do? Let her. School was built for them, not for me. I'm not a hooked on phonics guy because I stuttered as a child. They were trying to get me hooked off phonics. I'm like, ball. They're like, no, just ball. But I've taught some kids how to read using a phonics-based approach. It's not my preferred approach. Can I give you a teaching tip? Yes. English is not a phonics-based language, folks. Spanish is. I can teach everybody in this room how to read in Spanish in 6 weeks or less. Mame, mi, mo, mu. Nice and consistent. Look at the symbol A. What sound does it make in Spanish? Ah. Always ah. English, ah. Ah. A. Ugh. Sounds like I'm about to vomit. That symbol makes 18 different sounds in English. Not a very useful strategy. See, I have a teaching philosophy. You keep them moving, you keep them playing. That keeps them happy. When you're happy, that's when you're learning, because you don't even realize that you are learning. And so the second part of taking care of business is to accommodate based on the needs of the students in your classroom. That leads to the third type of business, which is to get help. Can I give you the best teaching tip I know to get your kids to be better readers? Use poetry. Whether I was teaching my little ones or my older ones, every class I've ever taught, I read aloud at least 4 poems a day to my students. Think of that. It takes less than 5 minutes a day. Over the course of 180 school days, my kids have been exposed to over 700 poems. I used to mandate all of my students need to memorize at least 20 poems. Heck, when I taught kindergarten on Thursdays, the kids became poems. It's a great way to differentiate instruction. So I got like Jose, my non-reader. He's like, "Hi, I'm the Sitter by Shel Silverstein. Mrs. McTwitter, the babysitter, I think she's a little bit crazy. She thinks the babysitter is supposed to sit upon the baby." They got Yesenia, one of my top students. She's like, "Hi, I'm Mark Antony from Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let be with Caesar. He was my friend, loyal and just to me. But Brutus is an honorable man." 6-year-old girl memorized 50 lines from Julius Caesar. Where'd I get that idea? Kindergarten Cop. Any of you ever seen the movie Kindergarten Cop? In that movie, Schwarzenegger gets his little ones to memorize the Gettysburg Address. I'm like, I wonder if that's possible. I think we underestimate kids every single day. So we're going to read some poems right now. We'll read together. We'll start off with a nursery rhyme. 1, 2, ready, go. Do a tongue twister. 1, 2, ready, go. I used to tell my little ones, you have the rest of your lives to be miserable. This year we're laughing. I like funny poets. I love Jack Prelutsky, Broad Baggart. My favorite, though, is Shel Silverstein. So let's read aloud my beard. 1, 2, ready, go. I always like to expose the kids to at least one classic. I actually never learned Roman numerals as a child, so let's read aloud Emily Dickinson's famous XXVII. 1, 2, ready, go. This is actually one of the first poems I exposed my students to, because if you read this poem, this woman had some serious self-esteem issues, wouldn't you agree? A lot of people don't know this. Emily Dickinson died without ever showing anybody her poems. They found her poems in the attic. This woman had no idea what her words would mean to millions of people. I look at every one of my students every day. You have poetry inside of you. It's your responsibility to let the world see it every single day. So again, I've always thought the best educators are reflective educators. With the people around you, do a tweet or tell for the next 23 seconds. Which of these business items are you going to make a priority this school year? Your 23 seconds begins now. So finally, let's wrap up with how to create a culture that gets kids excited about reading every single day. The building blocks of success are parents. You need the parents' help. Children are just a reflection of their parents. Everybody repeat after me. Parents' friend. By the way, it's 2019. Parent means different things in different homes. Some kids have no mommy. Some kids have 2 mommies. Some kids are being raised by a foster mommy or an auntie or an older sibling. Whoever the authority figure is at home, That's the parent. We need to do whatever it takes to get that person on our side. School districts will bring me in for 2 days. On day 1, I work with the teachers. On day 2, I work with the administrators. But on the night of day 1, I work with the parents. Because I think you need all 3 of those players on the same team, and that is how you move mountains, together. Every single parent seminar I've ever conducted, I've pointed this out. 24/7, 365, 8,760. There are 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year equals 8,760 hours in a year. 6, 5, 180, 1,080. There are 6 hours of instructional time in a typical school day, 5 days a week, 180 days a year equals 1,080 hours in a typical school year. Subtract 1,080 from 8,760 and you get 7,680 hours a child is with the parent, not the teacher. Who's the problem? That's not the way I say it to parents, by the way. Here's the way I say it to parents. No matter what I do with your kid, you are 7 times more important than me. Have any of you ever seen the movie Jerry Maguire? Help me help you. We need to be on the same team. If he doesn't learn how to read, he's living the rest of his life with you, not with me. So the first part of creating a culture is remembering that it takes a village to get a kid to achieve. You know, I used to always tell my faculty, I'm looking for thermostats, not thermometers. What's the difference? Thermometers take the temperature. Thermostats set the temperature. What kind of climate are you creating to get those kids pumped up about reading every single day in your classrooms? Raise your hand if you ever had one of those days. Raise your hand if you ever need to get pumped up. Raise your hand if you ever feel overwhelmed. So again, make sure you click on the site to get your free reading goodies. Help me help you. I can get you pumped up today, but motivation is like bathing. It's temporary. That's why we suggest you do it regularly. So if you go to the site, you'll get a positive email from me once a week for the rest of your life to keep you in the classroom. We need you. Very important. So the second part of culture is making sure that reading is the reward all the time. That leads to what I consider one of the easiest and best ways to get all of your kids to be better readers, and that's to read aloud to them. Have any of you ever had a favorite student? 2 of you. Way to relate to your audience, Danny. All right. I had a favorite student. I've spent most of my career teaching in the Compton and Watts area of South Central Los Angeles, but I did teach in Houston, Texas for a year. I taught 3rd grade, and I had a little boy that year named Howard, and Howard to this day is still my favorite student of all time. Howard was the son of a Baptist minister, and Howard's father spoke like Martin Luther King Jr., which meant Howard spoke like Martin Luther King Jr. And one day I was reading a book to the kids called Stuart Little by this guy named E.B. White. Write his name down. He's going to be big someday. E.B. White. After I read, I always have the kids applaud. So the kids are applauding one day, and Deshaun's like, I like Stuart because he's little. And Howard stands up. He's like, don't you get it? Don't you get it? We all belittle. We all belittle, but we be big someday, like Mr. B. And he pointed at me, and I realized this child could lead a revolt. And Howard is the reason I became a teacher. I love his unbridled enthusiasm. It's what gets me out of bed every single morning, and I worry to death for Howard, because next year he was going to get Miss Hampton. And Miss Hampton was going to misinterpret his enthusiasm as a discipline problem. Because Miss Hampton is a direct descendant of Darth Vader. And Howard taught me something very valuable. Never give a kid an answer. You're not doing them any favors. You got to give them a strategy. Because sooner or later, all of us are going to have a Miss Hampton to deal with. You know, one of my mentors, Charlie Tremendous Jones, said, you're the same today as you will be in 5 years, except for 2 things, the books you read and the people you meet. You need to make sure, I always tell my little ones this, you need to surround yourself with lots of positive people and make sure every single day you're feeding your mind with lots of positive books. No matter what, folks, always remember this. You are always a teacher and a role model. I'm going to leave you today the way my students always exit my classroom, whether it's my older ones or my little ones. I always say, remember this, education is valuable, but execution is priceless. Knowledge ain't power. Only applied knowledge is power. Knowing what the right thing to do and doing the right thing are 2 different things. Translation, Let's foster a love of reading in all of our kids. Have a great school year, everybody. Remember, you make a difference each and every day. God bless you. Thank you.
Just another big hand for Danny Brosell. Okay, up next, we would like to recognize some campuses, and also we want to recognize the Fine Arts Department for being recognized by the NAM Foundation for the second year in a row. Let's bring up on stage Ron Bissett, Fine Arts Coordinator, here to say a few words. Up another hand for Mr. Bissett.
Thank you very much. For the second year in a row, our music teachers have been awarded a designation by the NAM Foundation, which is the National Association of Music Merchants. This is not an easy designation to get. Thousands of school districts across the country apply for this designation, and very few get them. I would like at this time to have all of our music teachers please stand up and be recognized. It's because of you that we are getting this designation, so please stand. I would also like to thank our school board, Dr. Canales, the cabinet, all of our administrators who put a priority on the fine arts, because when you study art as a student, you do better in your classes, you do better on tests, and your attendance is better. I don't know if you noticed when Mr. Bracel was doing the poetry, he was actually conducting you like a director would, because there's rhythm there. And that's where the music and education makes a connection. So thank you, and I appreciate this. Music teachers, I appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you.
All right. Up next, we have some campus awards, and we would like to recognize some campuses for doing very well last year in different categories. So as I say the school's name, your principal, if you could please come up on stage. Let's start off with our A-rated campuses, because for the first time, TEA rated our campuses, and we would like to recognize A-rated campus, Memorial Elementary. Next, we'd like to recognize A-rated campus, Kleckler Hills Elementary. Recognize A-rated campus, Sam Houston Elementary. would also like to recognize this morning A-rated campus, South Palm Gardens. Up next, we would like to recognize campuses that acquired every distinction, which is a very difficult task to do. Let's start off with Kleckler Held Elementary. That received all their distinctions, Memorial Elementary. We'd also like to recognize all distinctions for Northbridge Elementary. Also, another school, all distinctions, Ibarra Elementary. So up next, we have the highest student attendance. So which campus had the highest student attendance? That award goes to, and they receive a trophy, Kleckler Held Elementary. Okay, up next, we have the highest employee attendance. Highest employee attendance. So who went to school? Which teachers and staff went to school the most? And that award goes to Ibarra Elementary. Congratulations to them. Up next, we have the Clean Campus Award, as selected by a committee that walked the schools during the school year, and that award goes to Ibarra Elementary. Up next, we have the Customer Service Award. So this was a secret shopper. We had some parents who visited the schools during the year and asked several questions from the front staff. They wanted to know how they were greeted. We wanted to know how were they greeted. Were they helpful and friendly? And did they do their best to answer the visitors' questions? And the Customer Service Award goes to Mary Hogue Middle School. not done yet because we're going to give away some prizes. Let's bring back on the stage Mario, Jordan, and Daniel to help give away some prizes.
We have lots of prizes to give away.
We got everybody's name in here? Everybody's name is in here, so we're going to choose one. Let's go ahead and start off, Daniel. No name on that one? Okay. We have 38 prizes to give away, including plenty of gift cards and some TVs. This one goes to Ana Guerra, West Laco High School. Come on down. And you're going to win a $50 MasterCard gift card. Up next, we have a $25 gift card from Barbecuties.
Let's see. Sandra Quiroz, Memorial Elementary.
Sandra Quiroz, Memorial Elementary. Is she here? Yes, there you go. We'd also like to thank all of our sponsors for participating. How about a big hand for our sponsors?
Next winner.
Hold on a second. Up next, we have a 32-inch LED TV from Tamez Financial Group. Next prize is a 32-inch TV. Go ahead, Mario.
Mariam Zamora, Kleckler Held Elementary.
$32-inch TV. Okay, up next we have a $25 Chick-fil-A platter and Kendra Scott jewelry. And that goes to?
Billy Cardenas from West Laco High School.
Billy Cardenas, West Laco High School. Coach. Okay, up next we have a Raisin Cane's gift basket. Raisin Cane's gift basket.
This one goes to Natasha Caballero, Gonzalez Elementary.
Up next we have a $30 gift card from Saltgrass and a round of golf at Tierra Santa.
This one goes to Sandra Garcia, Garza Middle School.
All right, up next we have a $50 gift card from Walmart.
Let's see this. Victoria Cordova, Kleckler Held Elementary.
Up next, we have a $50 gift card from Busy Bristle.
Andrea Martinez from West Laco High School.
Up next, we have a polo athletic shirt from the athletic department and a $25 Arturo's gift card.
Bruce Barker from West Laco High School.
Up next, we have a beauty services to Mickey Salon, value of $40.
Let's see right here. Maricela Perez, WISD Food Service Department.
Up next, we have a $30 Cinemark gift card and a cross pin.
This lucky winner is Silvia Arelo Gonzalez Elementary.
Up next, Kendra Scott Jewelry. Kendra Scott Jewelry. And this goes to
Lydia Carrasco from WISD Food Service Department.
Here. Let me have that. We'll make sure she gets it. All right, up next we have another TV to give away, a 32-inch LED TV from Jeff Everett and Associates.
Jessica Garcia from Sam Houston Elementary.
All right, more prizes to give away. How about a $25 Lowe's gift card with a water bottle?
The winner of this is no other than Julio Trevino from Garza Middle School.
Up next, we have a $25 gift card from Starbucks.
Your very own Alejandro Tafoya from Garza Middle School.
Up next, we have a $25 gift card to Blue Onion and a Coach brand jewelry.
This one goes to Anthony Contreras from Central Middle School.
Up next, we have a Texas National Bank gift basket. Gift basket from Texas National Bank.
Belia Solis from WISD Warehouse and Print Shop.
Yeah.
Up next, we have a $50 gift card. $50 gift card.
San Juanita Lugo from the Food and Service Department.
Up next, we have lunch for two at Jose's Cafecito and a $25 gift certificate for Sheer Vixen.
Angela Cuellar Cavazos Memorial Elementary.
Up next, an Echo Plus Smart Home Hub.
And the winner is David Handy from South Palm Gardens High School.
Up next, a $25 gift card to Barbecuties.
This one goes to Eloy Gonzalez from Westaco High School.
Up next, Kendra Scott Jewelry and a $30 gift card to Topgolf.
You guessed it, Ramiro Aldalpe Gonzalez Elementary.
Up next, a $25 gift card to Golden Corral.
Ricardo Vargas Rodolfo Rudy Silver Junior Elementary.
Up next, another television, a 43-inch Samsung TV from Get Up Funeral Home.
This one goes to Lori Ozuna from Memorial Elementary.
Up next, a $25 gift card to Chili's.
This one goes to April Perales from Sam Houston Elementary.
Up next, a $25 Visa gift card.
Karina Cantu, Gonzalez Elementary.
Up next, a Texas Roadhouse gift card. Texas Roadhouse gift card.
Javier Ruiz, Westlaco ISD Business Office.
A gift card to Bed Bath & Beyond. Up next, a gift card to Bed Bath & Beyond.
This one goes to Maria Llanas, WISD Food Service Department.
Up next, we have a gift card to Longhorn Steakhouse.
Can Enrique Weaver please come up from Central Middle School?
Up next, Amari Soap Gift Basket. Amari Soap Gift Basket.
We have Araceli Trevino from the Food and Service Department.
Up next, we have a gift card to Applebee's. Applebee's.
Sarah Magana from the Food and Service Department.
7 more prizes to go. 7 to go. We got a lot of prizes to give away. $25 gift card to Olive Garden. $25 gift card to Olive Garden.
This one goes to Gloria Ramos from the WISD Food Service Department.
Up next, we have a Tio Roberto's gift basket and Wells gift certificate.
Norma Gutierrez, WISD Food Service Department.
Daniel, I need to spin it around a little bit more. Too many food service department people are winning. I'm only kidding. $75 gift card goes to
Rolando Peña, Central Middle School.
Okay, $25 gift card to Chili's.
Dinah Davila, Sam Houston Elementary.
Okay, up next, a $50 gift card to Arturo's.
Jessica Abrego from B. Garza Middle School.
Up next, we have a $25 gift card to Bucha Bar and Tap Room.
Edith Salas from Memorial Elementary.
And we have one more gift, one more giveaway, door prize, a 40-inch Vizio Smart TV from Precinct 1 Commissioner David Fuentes.
Luz Natividad Magbu from South Palm Gardens High School.
And if you didn't win a prize, don't worry, because everyone will be receiving an Arctic stainless steel 32-ounce water bottle from the school district. They'll be delivered to you by your supervisors.
Now, as we get ready for another school year here at WISD, we want you to believe that anything is possible when you believe.
Thanks, guys.
It lets you pray with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proved in vain, hope seemed like the summer birds too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve I'm Sugata, Nahita Bahasta, I'm Sugata, Ashira, Ashira, Ashira. There can be miracles when you believe, when you believe. Hope is real, it's hard to kill. It's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. Now you will. You will when you believe. You will when you
Sí, sí, sí. Y esto que dice más o menos así. Y ya llegamos los amigos del Conjunto Salvaje para todos ustedes. Y esto que dice. Manos arriba. Cuando te vi por primera vez, aquel momento no puedo olvidar. Cuando te vi por primera vez, aquel momento no puedo olvidar. Y me la paso pensando en ti, sin olvidar qué manera de mirar. Y me la paso pensando en ti, sin olvidarte nunca jamás. Yolanda, eso.
Sabes que te quiero.
Yolanda, cántala.
Que por ti me muero.
Yolanda,
Sabes que te quiero.
anda.
Y mereces
Y solo espero que me digas que sí, para no vivir desesperado. Y solo espero que me digas que sí, para no vivir desesperado. Y en el tiempo me hiciste tan feliz, las pocas horas que pasé a tu lado. En un tiempo me hiciste tan feliz, las pocas horas que pasé a tu lado. Yolanda,
Sabes que te quiero.
Yolanda,
Que por ti me muero.
Yolanda,
Sabes que te quiero.
Yolanda. ¡Eso!
Y me desespero.
Y solo espero que me digas que sí, para no vivir desesperado. Y solo espero que me digas que sí, para no vivir desesperado. En un tiempo me hiciste tan feliz, las pocas horas que pasé a tu lado. En un tiempo me hiciste tan feliz, las pocas horas que pasé a tu lado. Yolanda,
Sabes que te quiero.
Yolanda, eso.
Que por ti me muero.
Yolanda, eso.
Sabes que te quiero.
Yolanda.
Y me desespero.
Son los amigos del Conjunto Salvaje de WISD High School. ¡Hagan un aplauso! ¡Hey! Somos Conjunto Salvaje para todos ustedes. ¡Un aplauso! Y este otro éxito que dice.
cumbia vallenata, para que bailes conmigo, ese ritmo guapachoso, para que goces conmigo, ese ritmo contagioso. Moviéndote suavecito, moviendo ya tus caderas, es un ritmo que te mueve por donde sea. Esta cumbia vallenata, cumbia vallenata.
Test 1, 2, test.
Voy a hacer una cumbia vallenata. Voy a hacer una cumbia vallenata, para que bailes conmigo, ese ritmo guapachoso, para que goces conmigo, ese ritmo contagioso. Moviéndote suavecito, moviendo ya tus caderas, es un ritmo que te mueve por donde sea. Esta cumbia vallenata. Moviéndote suavecito, moviendo ya tus caderas, es un ritmo que te mueve por donde sea. Esta cumbia vallenata, esta cumbia vallenata.
Gracias, un aplauso.
Once again, we would like to thank Victoria Corona, Alexis Rodriguez. Come out on stage. Also, the orchestra from both West Silico High School and West Silico East, stand up and be recognized. The folkloric dancers from both high schools. Our MCs, red carpet host, Mario Treviño, a Boy State delegate nominated for governor. Jordan Cancino from West Silico High School. Daniel Robledo from West Silico High School. We'd also like to thank Taylor Winkle from KRGV Channel 5. And Conjunto Salvaje from West Silico East High School. Thank you for making WISD the right choice. Have a great year, everybody.